What is InvestMint? Well, InvestMint is a fundraising token for no-loss investments. What does that really mean? At its core, InvestMint is an ERC20 token, can be used on any standard exchange and any wallet you're used to. It is designed for fundraising, and what this means is the holders of the token gain value in their tokens if they hold on to theirs and other holders sell them. So this works great for a startup fundraising kind of situation where someone will issue the tokens here. They'll buy the first few blocks, and then their investors might buy the next few blocks. Then the startup will need to liquidate their tokens here, so they'll sell a bunch of those, and they have the liquidity there to do what they need, and the investors kind of hold on to their tokens while they gain value. So it's kind of perfect for this scenario. Now, built into this InvestMint token is automatic price adjustment. So the value kind of always maintains and increases depending on how many blocks are purchased, if any extra liquidity is added back into the pool. It's all just kind of managed on its own. And the next feature here is related. It's got the built-in liquidity pool and exchange. So any holder at any time can exchange their tokens for Ethereum. Basically, they can sell them at any point for the current market rate. And it is open to all. So anyone can invest in one of these tokens once it has been issued. And it's, you might want to promote it to your investors, give them the heads up, but really once it's out there, it's open for anyone who has the address here. So how do we go about creating one of these tokens? There are a few required pieces of information we have to put in here, and that's going to be the name and the symbol of our token, how many tokens we will be issuing per block. The purchasers will buy a block of tokens rather than a set number of tokens, so we say how many will get issued at a time. The mint fee pricing, which is just the equation for determining the fee for each block of tokens that is minted. The stable mint fee, and what that is after a certain number of blocks are minted, the fee can stabilize, and instead of increasing, it will kind of hold steady at whatever we set there. And then we can obviously set the number of blocks that it will need to stabilize. And then the last thing we set is the reservation expiration period. And this is how long someone has to claim their blocks after they make a reservation. So some of the values we'll just use for this example here. We'll call it my token, use the symbol MTKN. We'll do 1,000 tokens per block, and we'll set the mint fee pricing to the number of blocks reserved divided by 10 ETH. Once the number of blocks we've set to stabilize here is reached, that being 10 in this case, we will move on to the stable mint fee of 1 ETH. And the reservation expiration period will be set to 24 hours. All right, so the required funding in this case, we would just need the gas for creating the contract, and a small amount of link will be needed to make a reservation. All right, so here we are. We've created a token. Now, the first thing that's a good practice, it's not required, it's good to put a little bit of link into the contract. So in this scenario, I just put one link in there to kind of kick things off, and it will still function perfectly without it. It's just a little better for users if that's in there, and we'll see kind of why that happens a little bit down the line. All right, so we've got our token here, and let's start making some reservations. All right, so here's the first reservation, and you'll see that it has a mint fee of 0.1 ETH and a reservation fee of 1 link. So at this point, the user is just paying the 1 link for the reservation fee, and they are kind of locking in that mint fee of 0.1 ETH. So now once they've placed this reservation, they have 24 hours to either purchase or cancel. Now what happens when they purchase? The mint fee will get sent to the liquidity pool, and their reservation fee will get refunded. Now the block will be locked for 24 hours, and again we'll see why a little bit later. So 24 hours later, the tokens are minted. And now you'll see over here in our liquidity pool, we've got 0.1 ETH, and the token supply is 1,000 right now. So we are able to determine the value automatically of one of these tokens at 0.0001 ETH. All right, so now a second reservation comes in. And this one will come to 0.3 ETH, and we'll see that is derived from the existing cost of the tokens times 1,000 that are in the block, plus the current mint fee, which is determined by the number of blocks divided by 10. So we're on block 2 divided by 10, we get 0.2, making the total cost 0.3 ETH. All right, then another block comes in, and the same formula is applied here. Now what we will assume is that block 2 is going to be purchased. If something happens and they cancel or it's expired, we'll deal with that down the line. But for the pricing right now, we'll assume that that will be purchased. So the block 3 price comes out to 0.5. And they've got 24 hours to purchase or cancel. So what happens when block 3 is purchased? Well, per usual, the mint fee is sent to the liquidity pool. Token cost is sent to the liquidity pool. And the reservation fee is refunded, and the blocks are locked for 24 hours. Now, the interesting stuff starts to happen when block 2 gets canceled. So what happens here is some of the reservation fee gets sent to the contract, just stays in there, and the remainder gets refunded back to the user. All right, now 24 hours later, the magic happens, and block 2 is removed. Block 3 becomes block 2. Now you'll see the price adjusted for block 3, which is now block 2, and that difference gets refunded. So this helps maintain that fair pricing. Since the block 2 was never purchased by the original reserver, block 3 was able to move up in the queue there and get the better price. And then their tokens are unlocked, and they can do what they want. So now another block is reserved, and another. And you can see block 4 is priced with the same formula there, assuming block 3 will be purchased. All right, now there's 24 hours to purchase, and let's see what happens when block 4 is purchased. All the usual stuff, the mint fee, the token cost are sent to the liquidity pool. The reservation fee is refunded, and the block is locked for 24 hours. All right. So now let's take a look at how these reservations are actually updated. What happens in that 24 hours. So once block 4 is purchased, some link from the contract are sent to a chain link alarm oracle, which is set to fire in 24 hours, and we'll call the update function in our contract. So 24 hours later, it looks like block 3 has expired. No one has claimed it, no one has canceled it. So now we've got the chain link alarm oracle here updating our contract. And the reservation fee, the entire fee, will get left in the contract from block 3 since they didn't cancel it or claim it. Block 3 is now removed, and like before, block 4 becomes block 3. The price is adjusted, refunded, and the tokens are unlocked. And now you can see fair token value has been achieved, and the value of the tokens can only increase from here. So that is the basics of InvestMint. Let's go check it out.